Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, witnesses, for being here today. I appreciate your sharing your information with Ms. Ballou. I'm going to start with you. My home state of Indiana has made a significant investment in technology-based programs, substance use programs, mental health treatment services for those that are incarcerated. So is NIST able to measure the impacts of state investments like this and incorporate those into the overall, your overall program? And I think you've answered some of those, but I'm going to give you another chance because I'd like to see how you feel about that. So.
That's an interesting question, and I do not believe I have additional information to provide for you at this time. So
let's try another one then,
okay?
In my community in West Central Indiana and across the country, as we all know, fentanyl and other synthetic drugs are causing a shocking increase in the number of deaths. Could you elaborate on this work on the standards and for detecting these illicit drugs?
So NIST is working on improving the current technology that is used to screen for the presence of certain drugs. Right now, we're trying to make it so that there's the smallest amount of contact between the first responder and the suspicious material. We're still working to improve the process, and we hope to get that out to the community so that they can apply it as soon as possible.
Very good. Mr. Gamet, what challenges do you face in your laboratories with analyzing illicit drugs, and what would you like to see us help you to get your work accomplished?
The challenges we see are instrumentation, which is very expensive in these disciplines, mainly toxicology and drug chemistry. It's also very expensive to train analysts in this discipline. It's expensive. NIST is providing some help on getting standard reference materials for us. That's been very helpful. So some of that research work to go into identifying panels for doing the validation study of these instruments when they come into the laboratory, that's also very helpful because it takes us a long time. What we haven't mentioned in this hearing is validation has to be done of every scientific discipline and every scientific instrument before we can use it in the laboratory. So all those things take resources to be able to do. And with the medical examiners, they're also dealing with this opioid crisis and need resources, and they also have severe workforce issues that we need to start dealing with.
Thank you very much. I appreciate and I recognize the need for standards here and being able to use those as reference material as you make comparisons. And so I think that's extremely critical. And that was more of a comment than a question. So Ms. Garcia, can you elaborate on how the Texas Commission is working on the NIST Standards Coordination Office? You've probably answered part of that. And do you have any recommendations for how NIST could better coordinate with other states or with the states?
Thank you for the question. So when I refer to the Standards Coordination Office, what I'm talking about is actually not the OSEC. It's a separate part of NIST that interacts, helps regulators, both federal and state, to work with accrediting bodies. So all of our laboratories are accredited, but what we've seen over the last 10 years is that accreditation has great benefit, but it also misses some things. And some of those are major things. So what we're trying to do is work with that body so that they can help us set up a list of, in addition to the ISO program, these are the things that we'd like to see in Texas laboratories. And then we'll work with the accrediting bodies so that they can assess the labs against that extra list. And it could include everything from human factors considerations, all sorts of things. So that's what I meant with that comment.
Thank you. And one last, I've got about 36 seconds, I guess. So Ms. Ballou, can you elaborate on how you prioritize the work in your forensic science? And
we prioritize our work really by listening to the experts, the forensic scientists themselves, to learn where are the issues that they're facing. And we also pay attention to what are the latest court issues that are taking place. What concerns actually happened in the courtroom? Is there somewhere that we can apply measurement science to address those issues?
3 seconds, you did very well. Thank you. I yield back.